Hello everyone, Simon here from the Whales of Wall Street. Today's video, Quant, QNT on the exchange. Before we go into the chart where we have seen some significant gains in the last month, we will just quick reminder here to check out the other videos on our channel. Loads of different projects, loads of different conversations. Do go check those out when you can. Obviously, after this one, you need to listen to this one first. But yeah, guys, as I said, many different topics, some are rabbit hole situations, and most of them are very much around projects that we hold in our portfolio. We do have a People's Crypto episode coming this week. We have a few requests from you out there in the comments of various videos. But again, do please make sure that you add your comments below with any project assets that we don't cover you would like us to cover in the People's Crypto. Is a good opportunity to learn new things, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, and hit that bell button so you get reminded of all the awesome videos coming away. Now the intro is out of the way, let's go. Quant, of course, the last update on Quant, can you believe it was 2 weeks ago? Whenever I look at the studio on YouTube of content that we've done, I go, when was the last time I did this particular project? And it says 2 weeks ago, and I was like, there's no way. It feels like yesterday, and now we're middle of July already, like way over the half a year. Anyway, it's going quick, guys. What is also going quick is the countdown to the turn on of the new financial system. We talk about this a lot, the RTGS system, replacing the existing SWIFT, CHAPS, old archaic systems that have been going on for decades, with new blockchain and new standardizations, ISO 222 compliance and standardization. Quant is a big player in that. We covered in the last video about the integration with Zimfin and the XDC token, which is going to be really amazing to see the development of that as time goes by in their latest update to the ledger, or the over ledger. But I want to bring the point home right now. Quant's price was absolutely mega certainly the last few days and the month in general. I think this is a concussion of what's happened with Zimfin, but also we must understand as well all these different things that are going on around the world, particularly around the CBDC development. Now, we know from all the other videos that we've done, there is a target, or at least a deadline, or the end date, November 2025, supposedly, when everything is fully switched on. And between now and next year are already the trials beginning since the 20th of June 2022. And we're now seeing the migration of SWIFT and CHAPS into the new system, working side by side before the new takes over the old. Also, regulation, a huge topic, guys. By the way, this week we will have the launch of our AMA with some guys that I know very well in the law side of crypto, and what is coming, not just for HMRC and crypto tax, but regulation both here in the UK and Europe, with a great company called Gunnar Cook. So James there and his team will be joining us on that AMA, so do look out for that one, because we're going to cover so many topics that you probably have so many questions about. And if you do have questions you want to ask about crypto tax regulation, get them in on the community. I have posted about this AMA. Do get your questions in there, because trust me, these guys know it all. I know these guys very well in the Web3 space, because that's where I work. So about this, Mika, markets and crypto assets, this is going to be a heavy regulated section of the European Commission moving forward, guys. Those that don't know, the European Commission is pretty much what controls and identifies what is and isn't happening in Europe, whether that's tech related, supply chain related, whatever it is. It's all done through these guys. World Economic Forum is at the top, and then obviously the branch down of all the different continents and areas around the world, regions. And within the European Commission we have the EBSI. Okay, so this is Europe's blockchain side of the aspect of what they do. And it used to be called something else, but more recently, after I think the last few months actually, they moved it across to this EBSI. Very new logo, very cool, very up to date. And this is very much, we've spoken about this before, about some really key projects like Quant, like IOTA, being heavily involved in the technology and API sections of the EBSI aspect of blockchain and what Europe's doing, particularly for the cross-border elements, which is a topic we talk about quite a lot on this channel, and this cross-border payments, how that's going to work collectively around the world. And you've got people or projects rather that boast interoperability. This is a word that flies about so much, and what does it actually mean? And also, do they actually even, or are they able to even do this kind of thing? And we know that Quant is significantly one of the big ones. It's one of here in the UK, not only the director and founder or CEO of Quant is here, but he's also the board director of the Digital Pound Foundation. We've got people here from Ripple and all sorts of other projects here. Barclays, Electronium, by the way, a very cool company. We do cover them every now and then as well. So they're all here, and they're all relating with existing banking systems as well. Many people from Quant actually on this list in the Digital Pound Foundation. So we've got to keep an eye on this stuff. But to the point of Quant, these guys are interoperable across the world. I mean, this is here, for example, the Latin America market, of course, for cross-border and the finance side of things, with CBDCs coming potentially as well, DLT tech. So this is where it gets interesting, because you're going to have all these infrastructures like R3, like Quant, in the background doing their thing, integrating with the likes of Oracle servers, cloud servers, etc., to build this machine. I call it a machine. It's not really a machine. I just call it a machine because it's massive. We're talking about obscene amounts of money, guys, being transacted and verified and processed within seconds, not days, seconds. Think of the world economy, how fast we can move forward, how hopefully, I mean, there is a debate to suggest that CBDCs are centralized and we want to try and be decentralized. Can this be an answer to your inflation and tax and things like this? Who knows? There are concerns about CBDCs and going down a centralized method that if you don't do certain things, you won't get your money. And we have done a video recently on that topic, which was very interesting, about the aspect of the COVID relief aid bills that came out obviously around 2020 in the pandemic, particularly in the US. They signed off on this US bill. It's a huge document, but a big chunk of it in there about digital dollars, and this actually using digital dollars was how they created this relief fund. It was a trial, and that's the crazy thing, because also in that document, in that bill, go check out the video because it's really cool. I've put all of the documents in there and all the references, and they talk about the Fed owning the wallets. What does this mean? It means that essentially they can turn on your finances and they can turn off your finances. So there's some really weird dilemmas coming to the fruition. That's why I always say on this channel, we're on the brink as people, as choices, are about to be able to pick a path to go down. Irrespective of those paths, right now we have the opportunity to invest in some of these projects. Of course, Quant is one of ours here. We did well to try and accumulate as much as possible around those $40-50 marks, which we'll go on to in a second. But for me, this is a top project because of what it's doing in the financial world. The financial market is gigantic. It's the biggest category in the world. You cannot get higher than the world finance. Simple as that. RTGS in its own right, transacting and verifying over £720 billion per day. That is what we're dealing with, guys, and probably even more as time goes by. So these are all things that really collate with the power of what Quant is doing in the background. Someone asked in the comments about, well, what does actually the QNT token do? Can they rug pull this? Can it be possible to do that? We'll have a video on that in about 2 days time, because we're going to be looking at a few other projects with similar questions around that. And I'm mainly going to be focusing on all the ISO 20022 compliant ones, all rumored to be compliant, some of them as well, because these are the ones arguably that are going to be controlling the blockchain side of things and DLT systems within the world finance system. So look out for that one as well, because I think that's going to be really interesting. And we'll do a deep dive of not just the tokenomics of Quant and the other ones, but what do these actually do, and what do they mean for us as investors, and what do they mean for us? Token wise in the technology themselves. So loads to go on about, and just one final point, guys. I'm putting a prediction out here. I believe Sunak is going to become the next Prime Minister. He was one of the headed people of the Innovation Hub here in London, really pushing crypto and CBDCs. There's an argument to say that if he loses, he'll still come back as Chancellor or somewhere within finance. Matt Hancock, previously Digital Minister and Health Minister, moved across into crypto and blockchain. He does a lot of the crypto events now. But I strongly feel that the way we are at the moment with recession and inflation and things like this, the UK is in a bit of a predicament, as are many countries across Europe right now, and probably across the world as well. I guarantee probably the stories are very similar. We just don't hear about them in each other's media. It would not surprise me one bit. It's all about propaganda, right? And I can see now easily that Sunak could win this, and that would be an extremely good thing for crypto, for regulation, for CBDCs. That's my prediction. What do you think in the comments below? I don't want to turn too political, but I just see it. I see a path, like the follow the money attitude. It would be a no-brainer for me. And as an investor, I'd be like, wow, yes, please. That would be great. So guys, let us know what you think about that. We're going to jump into the chart where we've had some unreal movement on Quant in the last month, and specifically the last few days. Let's take a look. This is where we are. Wow. Since the 13th of June, pretty much a month ago, we have increased capacity to 179% gains, everyone. Congratulations to those, including myself, who are buying around these regions at $40, knowing that anything under $100 for Quant is an absolute steal, in my opinion, and I still go by those words. This is not to say we may come back down to these areas. We have covered this on many videos before about the intricate detail of looking at historic data in the charts, not just where we are now or in the last month or two. We have to look backwards, and you can clearly see, in fact, what I'm going to do, where we are with the price right now. You see this little dotted red line. It's going across this mid-range fib retracement chart that we drew in ages ago. Very interesting point, by the way. Can we stabilize here? And that is bang on the $100 mark. Can you believe it? They all coincide. This is why we show you all these charts and these fib retracements. They all play out in the end. Look at this, bang on where we are right now. This is a support mechanism. Look back here, 25th of June 2021, 27th of July 2021. We couldn't quite get past that barrier. Here we shot past it. Since then, big historic data of an upward trend, pulled ourselves back, hey presto, back to this area, roughly around $90 to $110, back here again on the 27th of February, and that's where we are today. Guys, we're in a really interesting point with Quant. Really interesting. The next level down is back at this $90 mark, which I wouldn't be angry about obtaining some more back here, but again, touch point, and we came through here, we completely rejected it, and now this is where we're back up. So don't be surprised to see us like we've done today. If you see this, the high of $110, the low of 95, I would not be surprised if we came back to this $90 area to retest this. This area of $100 and $90 is really interesting right now, because if we break down those, and that is possible as well because of the lack of data between this point here around $60 and higher, $90, and even from 40, there's just not enough. This big vast amount of space here is huge. It's like a black hole that we need to confirm these areas. We had the Zinfin news, especially around these areas, and we had the momentum of FOMO. People always wanted to get Quant, and they sit there going, I'm not sure about $40, $50, and all of a sudden they see it at 70, 80, and they're like, oh, I need some. So they jump in and the price goes mental. Two big bursts here. This is what happens every time in the crypto market. This is why I take advantage of the indicators that show us. That's why we go through them on this channel so many times. Every channel, every video that we do, we go through those. but we also make the valid points of things being available at certain prices, because they won't stay there forever. Like I said, I would not be surprised if we still come back down to test these areas. I still have my buy orders just under $50. I still have my buy orders just over $60 as well, and I have some around $77, I think, to $79. Yes, it could come back down to 90, but as I said, anything under $100 in the long run of quant is significant. I do generally believe that by 2030, I know I perhaps underestimated my prediction in the last one. I said it would be around $5,000, but I do generally believe that we will see by 2025 at least those kind of areas of maybe potentially 5,000, and I do think by 2030 we'll definitely be over that $10,000 mark. That's my honest belief. Because of what I see with the finance markets, the industries, how blockchain's being integrated through Europe, through everywhere around the world, and quant is one of those gigantic leaders. Great opportunity, as we knew back here around $40-50, which is a beautiful point to be purchasing here. The RSIs on the 14-day were 27, 28-day was 33. We fast forward to now, we're seeing a 14-day at 75 and a 28-day at 64. These are very much near enough double positions, if not more, certainly on the 2-week closing. This is great because if you were purchasing 2 weeks ago, congratulations, you're around about double your position. That has been enough for me to take out initial investments on some of them, or at least a small percentage of them. So I have taken some quant out of the equation because I've made some money back off it, and I will be utilizing that either on the way down or in other projects that are still trying to stabilize and find some rhythm at the bottom. Look at this on the right hand side, guys. There's not many projects out there at all that can boast this. We are green on the 1 week and the 1 month, and the 1 month is 100% up. I don't know many other projects that even, first of all, show green on the 1 month, and secondly, show that significant growth. The 3 months even, and the 6 months even, these are very much in the red still, but very positive, because any other projects right now, I believe, are still at least, especially on this 6 month and the year ones, are at least 60 to 80% negative still. This is phenomenal. So that's why I'm really excited about quant right now. Would I be buying right now? Personally, no, because this RSI is very high. This doesn't mean that we won't go higher, but your percentage gains aren't going to be huge. You could see this fly up, but you got to understand the balance of gains, right? It's not me in my mind about how much money we're making. It's about gains. Percentage gains is the most critical point when you're looking at investments. So I'm going to be waiting personally, as I said, for some special areas, particularly around this $90. I do generally believe we could come and retest this area, and this could be a DCA opportunity. What I mean by that is you don't go and jump your money straight in just because it's come down here, or you've just been paid and you just want some quant for the sake of it. Trust me, I've been there. It's a complete waste of time half the time. And I will have my continuation buys down here because, like I said, there are huge gaps. This gap is huge. This is a year's worth of a black hole here, and this gap is also quite big as well. This relates back to around May this year. The void is too big, in my opinion, to suggest that we can have these support lines already here. If we continue hyper growth, we will just have the catalyst back down at some point in this long way. What we want to see is a gradual progression, to be honest, a healthy progression, and hitting specific support points and getting those verified. Okay, like I said, it would not surprise me if we bounce back off this mid-range fib retracement level. The next level up, guys, is $127, $130. We could see some big rejection there and come back all the way down. You could play that for sure. If you're clever and you're confident enough with markets and things, you could play this. But at the moment, I do generally believe that we will be touching back down to here. And as I said, on the previous macro levels, we are pretty much bang on this level here, $100 roughly, which we saw back here in March. That's the reason why I keep these fib retracements in here, because they always, as traders and as people who have automatic market makers and all these things, they go by these methods. Trust me, I've learned way too many times in the last few years. Obviously, the buying momentum's in there, understandably, because we've gone up in this big pattern. But look at that, 179% in the last month. And in fact, if we just go back literally maybe even to 2 weeks ago, we can probably see actually that this has been quite a good percentage increase still as well. In fact, I'm just going to move that to here, move that down slightly. Still 124%, guys, from the beginning of July, just over 2 weeks. Mental. Guys, this is very much wrapping up Quant. I think we speak highly of this project always on this channel. I know there's big fans of it out there right now. I'm super excited about this project. Honestly, I have so many in my portfolio that I really look forward to the technological advancements over the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not here for the short gains. I will take my profits, of course, along the way. I'm not going to go mad with those. You have to measure the cycles as they come, both the mini ones and the big ones. But for me, it's about the long term. Trust me, when this financial system is taken over by the blockchain and DLTs, of which Quant is going to be a top one, we are going to be flying. Do we get out by 2025 before they put all these weird legislations in that potentially our money is completely controlled? We'll see nearer the time. But for now, I strongly believe, and I'm seeing the efforts we put in a month ago coming into fruition. We're not out of it yet. Please do not be misguided by this big growth pattern. Just be cautious. DCA on the way down if it comes down to it. And trust me, it will work out. Guys, thank you for watching. Like I said, do check out our other videos as well. I'll leave links at the end of this one to previous cool videos about the RTGS system, and also what we mentioned just a moment ago about the relief funds and the digital dollars and all these other crazy things coming our way, like basic universal income. It's all related, guys. Let's hope you all wake up, as Stephen Hawking, one of my heroes, said. Don't look at your feet, look up at the sky. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.